Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard if you are brand new. Welcome back if you're not, and welcome home if that sits perfectly for you. I feel the need to say that outside of my window right now, I have 4 squirrels running about, and I'm loving it. So if that's a message for you to get a little bit of play into your winter preparation, then please let it be that. Today we're going to talk about the week of September 9th through the 15th, 2024. We talk about astrology, we talk about energy, we talk about what's coming. Let's get right in because there's no point in doing it any other way. On Monday the 9th, as the day opens, Mercury moves into Virgo, right? And then the moon in Scorpio will be opposing Uranus, trining Neptune, and sextiling Pluto before around lunchtime. The moon will move into Sagittarius. That Sagittarius moon is going to square Mercury and sextile Mars. This is a day where we have a getting stuff done attitude, right? And it might be overshadowed by a sense of yearning, longing, right? That internal thing that doesn't really want to buckle down and get stuff done. So whether this yearning is about shift and change, or whether, okay, we see you, or whether it's about freedom, right? Yeah, you just never know. Or simply your own yearning to, let's say, turn the volume up, right? Tend to your own impulses and expressions, though. Mind the way that you might involve someone else in what could be a mean-spirited sort of way. Simply because Mercury in Virgo could really create some energy like that, right? Where you feel the need to be correct, and correct for yourself does not mean correct for anyone else, right? There's your way, and that's not always the right way. I'm sorry to say, to my Virgo friends out there, but with Mercury in Virgo, you may feel like you are correct, and you're just going to have to let other people show up to their own lessons. Okay, sorry, I had to take a second. I had a little deer friend in my yard, and I wanted to get some pictures. Anyway, that was Monday. On Tuesday, the 10th, that Sagittarius moon is going to sextile Venus in Libra, and then square retrograding Saturn. So this is a recurrence of those themes from last week about love and money, right? And today they're going to come in kind of on the breeze, creating some unrest, some disquiet in your being. That longing, again, to get out, to feel the openness, to really experience freedom as you want it. It's going to be strong. So try to manage your tasks, okay? And get the things that you must do, your requirements, out of the way so that you can spend some time doing some exploring, doing those things that you want to do, doing those things that your heart is calling to you about. Nope, I don't see it. So accomplish so that you can be free, right? On Wednesday the 11th, that Sag moon is going to square the sun and oppose Jupiter. And this is overnight, right? So it is what it is. So you can move through those kind of in the evening or overnight and wake up with a kind of a certain sense, right? Venus in Libra also, quincunxes Saturn very early in the morning. And then that Sag moon is going to trine Chiron and quincunx Uranus and square Neptune before the moon moves into Capricorn at the endish of the day. And then Mercury still, of course, in Virgo, newly in Virgo, in fact, is going to sextile Mars. So as hard as you are trying to focus, right, this week, because let's be real, Virgo and Mercury and Virgo wants you to focus, right? We want a focused expression. We want clarity. We want precision there. And so as hard as you really want to focus is exactly as hard as your distractions keep coming back. That can really be frustrating. And it's one of those things where old fantasies, old memories are really going to run rampant in your conscious and in your unconscious, right? The key here is that it might be best to just let them have you. Again, as long as we make sure that we have done what we must do, right? Fulfilled our obligations, then what happens is that we can allow ourselves the latitude to see what we're being asked in our fantasies, in our imagination. Sometimes that's important. So let it have you, and either make sure that you have your stuff done early in the week, or create space so that you can catch up later, right? Because I believe in this specific instance, resistance is going to be futile, right? You're not going to be able to step around it. So on Thursday, the 12th, the Sun in Virgo squares Jupiter. The Moon in Capricorn will oppose Mars and trine Mercury. So this is a push me, pull you kind of energy. The fact of the matter is, so that kind of energy is kind of on repeat. You can't quite get past it in your head. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. So here's the thing. The way that you allow that programming to keep running or not is absolutely going to depend on the why of what you want to accomplish. Or you're going to end up, look at that. Looky there. Or you're going to end up kind of walking in circles, right? Trying to figure out why you're not getting anything done. And I get that. But if you're looking for results, if you need to accomplish things this week, that's going to be uncomfortable. The thing is, you can sidestep it, but it's going to take will, right? So the other key here is to really step back from any kind of hypercritical thinking, and that is whether it's toward yourself or someone else, right? If you have that that tendency this week to say and dismiss, whether it's a yourself trait or someone else, be aware of that. Really opt out if you can. And I mean, first of all, why would you want to hold that kind of energy? Certainly for any day or any one, but most importantly for yourself, right? Give yourself some latitude, give yourself some grace, because that is what we're here to do. So you can get some progress, but you're going to have to leave that baggage outside and really focus on function, right? Mercury in Virgo is going to ask you to do that in big ways. On Friday, the 13th, hello. If you are a triskaidekaphile like me, you will be celebrating on this day. That Capricorn moon is going to sextile Saturn, square Venus, sextile Jupiter, trine the Sun, square Chiron, and trine Uranus. So here's the deal. Don't be your own obstacle on Friday the 13th, right? You have some options. Investigate them. Hello, thank you. It's very important to be flexible. that is really going to be a requirement as you navigate some fairly intense situations that might happen around you. Okay, so set the tone, because again, you are the person who chooses either engagement or not. And so if you are setting the tone, thank you, that's a good one. If you're setting the tone and keeping yourself in check, and really striving toward as much self-regulation as you know how at this moment, right? At this moment, the key here is that it will all make sense to you. All of the kerfluffle that happens during this day, by the time you hit the bed, will make sense to you. And also, you'll be very happy to get some rest. On Saturday, the 14th, that Capricorn moon sextiles Neptune and conjuncts Pluto. Remember, Pluto is retrograding now in Capricorn, right? The moon will move into Aquarius, and that Aquarius's moon, hello, there we go. That Aquarius moon is going to quincunx both Mars and Mercury, and the sun in Virgo is going to quincunx Chiron. Sorry, I'm getting all my things here. Okay, so again, these stirrings for freedom, for independence, this is a recurrent theme this week, and on Saturday it will be strong, right? The key here is to resist any urge to close your interior doors, right? Whether those are mental doors or emotional doors or spiritual doors. Wow. Just resist that urge. Keep yourself open, right? Resist, and while you're resisting the urge to close those doors, make sure that you are not reverting to a previous pattern, right? On Saturday, get outside, get out of your house, do something new that you have never done before, something that you've never experienced before. Figure something out, right? Put something on your calendar that is something that you really want to do, even if it's to go to a new place, right? It doesn't really matter. Just make sure that you give yourself the latitude to really be in the experience, and see how it feels, okay? So if you are courageous and you feel free enough, get out and then see what happens. See how it feels. Be connected to your body all day as deeply as possible. See how that feels to you, right? That will give you all of the clues about the thing you're experiencing that you need. On Sunday the 15th, Venus in Libra will trine Jupiter. The moon trines Jupiter. The moon trines Venus, right? That's a grand ear trine, people. And then the Aquarius moon will also sextile Chiron and quincunx the sun. So this is a grand air trine in Libra, well, I mean with Venus and Jupiter and the moon, right? Venus and Jupiter and the moon. So beautiful energy. Keep your tones very light. Keep your heart much the same, and understand that Sunday, the 15th, really offers a beautiful opportunity to exercise those muscles that you've been working on when it comes to things surrounding love, relationships, finance, money, your 3D experience, right? Pay deep attention on Sunday. If, again, you can stay open, right, and present, offering yourself both to and as that brilliant diamond that is the event horizon, right? All that sense of purpose and mission might permeate into areas that you didn't really know existed, or that you may have not paid attention to before. So it's about possibility, right? It's about the things that you're willing to experience and the way that you're willing and desiring to amplify them, right? Pay attention. Sunday is a great day to really kind of be in play with that idea, right? Okay, let's talk. On Monday, we have the Lovers, right? And the Knight of Swords. Okay, so we talked about this as how your getting stuff done energies might be overshadowed by this sense of yearning, right? This sense of longing, this wish to turn your own volume up, right? So here's the deal. What that idea means to you has to be something that sparks your heart. This is a day of divine union also. Now here's the thing. It doesn't have to be divine union with a partner. It can be divine union with the partner of yourself, right? With your heart, with your soul. So this is a place or a way where new ideas can really flourish, can feel amazing. Now here's the thing. Remember, we talked about this as making sure that you're not bringing that sense of mean-spiritedness, that sense of need to be critical or doubtful into play. Because look how this is so lovely, right? So divine and so divinely created and so hard earned. And then this little sword can just go right and excuse me, and shatter the whole moment. So please resist this urge. Stay in your alignment. Stay in your witness of miracles, and let the idea that it has to look perfect or feel perfect or be perfect in order to be magical, let that go, right? Right. On Tuesday, look, we have the 8 of Swords and the 8 of Wands. Okay, so this is really interesting, especially since we're talking about how those themes of love and money are recurrent from last week. And today they come in remembering, trying to, how do you get out? How do you gain freedom? Well, guess what? This, again, right, the 8 of Swords is always about the way that you believe you're stuck. And here's the fact. If you believe you're stuck, you are. If you believe you can move, you can. It's that simple. This is that find a way, make a way, or believe that you're bound by what you've always done, by what you've always believed, by what you've been told, by what you've heard. Or let's even go here, by what you've previously experienced. Okay, and if you're stuck because of what you've previously experienced, here's the key. Change your perspective on what you believe is possible. Redefine something, right? If freedom means the ability to go on a vacation, change your belief about what a vacation means, right? If a vacation is going like a staycation, change your definition of the word vacation to something that you can manage. And guess what? Then you have motion and you're creating instead of being stagnant. So change your definitions if that's where you're hung up, right? That way you can spend some time doing those explorations instead of focusing on why you can't move. Because you can. You can always do something. It might not be the thing you think, but it's always something. On Wednesday, the 11th, again, we've got the 4 of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Now, I love these two cards. They're both cards of being stuck as well. So this is a recurrence of this 8 of Swords energy. Now, here's the deal. As hard as you're trying to focus on this day, remember, is exactly how hard those distractions are coming back. Old fantasies or memories might pop up. Now, here's the thing. What you're harboring is what you're going to get. Remember that the Hierophant is always going to ask you to examine your why, right? So we go back to this lesson of Tuesday. Ask yourself, why am I holding this? Why am I believing this thing? Why am I deciding that this is my belief? The key here is, what's the idea behind it? What's the idea behind it? Again, so if you believe that you need to hold on to a thing, you're always going to hold on to it, right? And here's the deal. The person who created that belief in you, whether it was your parent or a teacher or a preacher or a neighbor or a friend or your lover or your husband or wife or even your child, right? The person that created, let's call it this way, the interaction, okay? And that could be an interaction in your brain or an interaction with another person. The interaction that created the belief within you is always open to shift and change. Because you get to change your stance toward it, right? And so if you can do that, if you can let yourself today be in a memory, a fantasy, a something in a new way, then you can shift that. So if you can give yourself to that reverie today, you might be surprised at the power of the fundamental shift that you can allow, okay? On Thursday, we have the 9 of Pentacles and the Emperor. Now, this is a lovely energy, right? We're talking about this as a push me, pull you day. And here's the deal. That's that cycle on repeat in your head. Yes, no. And if you can stand back from your hypercritical thoughts, when they come to yourself or others, right? So 9 of Pentacles is self-sufficiency. I've got this. I'm good. I don't need help. I have created my own sense of stability. I've created my own resources, and I have tapped in. Now, here's the deal. You can look at that as, I have tapped in, and I have the power of the roots as well as the tree. Or you can look at that as, oh, I am in control of this, my own expression, right? The tree. So you can identify with the tree part, or you can identify with the entire system, which is rooted, right? So figure that out. Stand back from your critical thoughts. Did you do this, or have you simply tapped into what is? Well, you get to pick that. And just make sure that you're leaving the baggage of it, you know, that I've got this, I can do it, I'm perfectly capable, right? That kind of top level avoidant behavior is still avoidant behavior. Don't get caught up in the rigidity, right? Instead, take the flow that is offered. You can do it. You just have to pay attention, right? You just have to pay attention. Friday the 13th, listen up. We have the 9 of Wands and the Sun. I love this as a pairing. Don't be your own obstacle, right? Flexibility really is a requirement, especially on Friday the 13th. So make sure that you are setting the tone by keeping yourself in check. Now, here's the thing. If you feel like you are the one that has to hold on to things, you are the one that's got to hold up the sky, right? Here's the sun to show you. You are the sky. You don't have to hold yourself up, right? When the weather comes in, it's okay. The sun is still shining over those clouds. The sun is still shining even if it's in orbit around the other side of our geocentrically created planet, right? It's okay to prioritize, right? The 9 of Wands gives you the option to feel put upon or to choose, right? It's either a priority or it's a I have to. The sun says, be cautious about what you're choosing. And here's the deal, right? No matter how you turn the sun, this is a reflection of his wand. So if you can, make sure that you're choosing your priorities, and really understand that regulating yourself is what's going to make the difference. Wow, we have a cat. Hi there, little lady. Okay, we have visitors today. Anyway, make sure that you're choosing your perspective, right, wisely, and always your perspective and the way that you're showing up in your priority, in your why, is going to determine exactly how much you can or cannot shine. Okay? On Saturday, the 14th, we have the 8 of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Again, we have another reflection, right? Here's the deal. We're talking this week about freedom. We're talking this week about independence. This is a day where we're being asked. Now, let's talk about this, okay? This is a day where we're really being asked to stay open, to not close the doors, to not revert to old patterns, to not revert to our old beliefs, to not cave in to something old. So this is a day to do something new, right? Do something new. So the wheel is always turning, right? The wheel does not go backwards. We don't get to go backwards. We don't get to unlearn what we've learned. And so the more you keep going, the more you keep going, the more you witness your cycles, the more you delve in to what's possible, the better off you are. And so if you need to get out and allow that wheel to turn today, make sure that you're in your experience, right? As we've talked quite a bit, you get to identify at different points on the wheel. If you're out here on the edge, that movement is going to make you sick. If you're identifying as a spoke, you're always going to feel like life is upside down or coming back to right side up. You know, you're going to feel the movement. If you identify as the hub of the wheel, all you're doing is practicing, right? All you're doing is practicing. So allow for those urges, but witness where you are, right? Where you are now. You get to pick. You get to pick all week. You get to pick every day, honestly. So Sunday, the 15th, we've got the King of Swords and Strength. This is that grand air trine. So beautiful, right? Beautiful energy with the King of Swords here. Now, I love swords, of course, being ideas, but I love the transformation aspect that is so prevalent in more standard, less artistic kind of decks where we have butterflies all over, because our ideas really are our catalyst for paradigm shift. And so, right, strength, this strength card, we have this reflection of the sun here to remind you that what you're always doing is challenging your own ideas, right? You're simply going into the breach, my friends, and witnessing where you are in relation to those ideas. And that courage, right, is a thing that is, it's practiced, right? It's practiced. It's how we get to that next level. So we have that grand air trine, and it's reminding us, keep your tone light today. Challenge yourself to really be in witness to what is when it comes to your heart, your relations, love, your money, your finances, resources, and abundance, right? These are ideas. These are ideas. And if you can stay open and very present to the fact that you are only and ever, right, the center, the event horizon, you get to choose always, always, always what's coming and what's going. Make sure that purpose and mission are your drivers, right? And when you lead from that awareness, who knows, right? You don't know what kind of light and strength and brilliance can permeate into those places which felt like darkness, right? Think that butterfly looks a little bit like that infinity? Yeah, it does. You know why? It is. it is. Hold space for yet, right? We talked a lot about freedom. We talked a lot about independence this week. We talked about making choices as to where you are and the way that you're holding things, the way that you're choosing an expression, the way that you're choosing to witness, right? This is always the message that we're holding space for yet. For yet, just because I don't have it now, just because my experience hasn't been this, doesn't mean it can be, right? Just because I haven't understood this before, doesn't mean I can't understand it now. Just because I haven't accomplished this yet, doesn't mean I won't, right? Just because I don't understand what my why is, doesn't mean I won't get it eventually. Just because I'm not in place with openness and what it is that I want to do, to accomplish, to create as my mission, just because I haven't explored as deeply as I might want to or as I need to, doesn't mean I won't, right? Hold space for yet. This is so critical. And then we have this gorgeous tree of life. Absolutely beautiful, right? Let's read what this oracle message is, shall we? Ah, gorgeous. Okay, the essence of this card. The tree of life is a sacred symbol throughout the Americas. Its deep roots reach into the lower world, the unconscious, while its branches reach to the heavens, the source of destiny. Did we not just talk about this right here? We did. To be whole in your life's journey, it is important to have deep roots and high branches. A tall tree with shallow roots will fall in the first wind, but a tree with deep roots can weather any storm, right? We get to choose where we are resourced. If you're pulling from your roots, you never have to fear. If you are creating only as branches, you're going to be nervous, right? The invitation here to find health and balance in your life. Reflect on how you dance with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. If you are too much in your thinking head or in a world of fantasies and daydreaming, connect more with the roots and your physical body. If you are caught in the mechanical doing and feeling stuck, not able to imagine a better life for yourself, open yourself to be inspired by the heavens. Let your roots and branches be aligned with your heart's longings. Yes, we literally said all this. This is why I shuffle on camera and pull these cards, because guess what? You couldn't make it up if you tried. The medicine of this card. What nutrients do you need to add to your soil to grow strong? The seed of the oak will not grow on barren ground or without the light of the sun. What dreams do you want to awaken to create a mindful destiny? Reflect on how you want to blossom, what kind of fruit you want to produce, and where you want to sow your new seeds. Hello. Be a conscious creator, right? Conscious. Just because it's not here right now, just because I've not experienced it yet, doesn't mean you can't, by making the choice to do the work on what might have been in your way, right? What might have been in your way. If you believe you can be a better person, what is stopping you? What's stopping you? Right? Listen, guys, thanks for being here. And dig in this week, right? Dig in this week. The possibilities are endless, and you are your source as well as your limitation. So be in action, right? When action is called for, and be in silence when silence is called for. Don't be afraid to be both. You are designed to be both, right? Big blessings. Have an amazing week.